The second speaker in this content strategy session is Mike Essex, and he's going to be talking about what I think is a really interesting challenge for those of you working in-house that I think a lot of us who work agency side or in other kinds of business will learn a lot from as well. So that's how to make every employee and part of your team, part of your marketing team. That's what it says. I'm reading it. I can't even read properly at this stage of BrightonSEO. We can have a huge round of applause for Mike.
As an industry, we're really good at talking about external activities as part of our marketing. So things like SEO, content marketing, social media, and how we can improve them. But how often do we take the time to think internally about the attributes of our business and the way we can improve them to improve our marketing? That's what I'm going to talk to you about today. But first, let's look at how SEO has kind of got to this point. So when I first started in SEO, it felt like it was as simple as this. All I really cared about was getting those stupid robots to rank my website. If people came to my site, then we just assumed they would buy stuff. It was very much a simpler time. But over time, SEO has evolved and become more complex. We've looked for more opportunities to get more out of marketing. We've taken on other disciplines like content marketing, PR, sponsored content, and tried to draw more users to our website that way. So the customer journeys become more complex. And we've become more mature in looking at, okay, well, a user may actually go to our competitor's website, or they may click organic, or they may click paid, or they may have a much more complicated journey. So that's just the user's journey. But what about all the other human aspects that they touch along the way? These are all just website aspects that we can improve. What about all these people who form part of our organizations or the organizations of our clients? What about customer service and the delivery teams, quality control, product development, the sales team? These are all people who interact with our potential customers and our existing customers throughout their entire customer journey. It's no good getting people to come to your website through SEO if the experience with customer service is awful, or if they buy a product and the delivery team is so awful that it ruins the experience. I mean, how many times have you dealt with a finance department in a company who is complete crap and ruins your experience of the company? And actually, the user journey, if we look behind the website, can be very complicated and can touch on a lot of these human aspects. So how can we optimize these aspects in the best possible way? And how can we do it for our clients as well? Really, what you want to do is want to have this concept of a unified internal team. You want every single person inside that business to be having the exact same messages, the exact same focus, the exact same values. Before we get started, there's 3 things that I think any company needs to have a good internal communication strategy. In fact, to have a good business altogether. So you need to have a vision and mission statement. You need to very clearly lay out what it is that business wants to achieve and how it's going to get there. And that's something you need to make available to all employees so they can understand where the business is going to go. You need core values, which are a series of short, simple, often one-word statements on what makes that business unique. So that could be something like safe, quality, we're driven to deliver. And you need a business and marketing plan to actually show how you're going to execute the vision and mission statement. It's amazing how many businesses don't have these, even massive businesses. And even if your clients don't have these, it's worth working with them to at the very least try and understand what's the long-term strategy for that business that they want to achieve. But I know what you're thinking. I know this is BrightonSEO, and if I don't tell you how to get any links, you're going to run me out of town. So let's just try and bring it to SEO in a way. I mean, essentially what we're trying to do is have this unified internal team and have everybody in the entire business working the same way, promoting the same things, and living the same values. So let's look at some of the ways that we can use internal communication techniques to improve our marketing. One of the first things that's important to do is to break down the silos within an organization. Our marketing team used to be spread across several different countries. We used to have different line managers. We weren't a unified team at all. And we were doing a lot of repetition, and we weren't really taking lessons learned from different parts of our business. So we took the entire marketing department, mushed them all together, and had them all in one organizational structure. It massively improved the flow of information in the business, and it meant that we could actually learn from each other through all the different things we did. So doing that really helps to improve the flow of information in a business. And that's true for any department. We did it for finance, we did it for HR, we did it for legal, we did it for many other departments. And in every instance, it improved the messaging internally and also the messaging they gave to our customers. We also hold lunch and learn sessions with people who write our content in order to explain to them the type of SEO messages we can have. Now, that doesn't have to just be online content. It can be things like brochures. If that brochure is put on your website, will it be optimized? Will it be searchable? And it can extend beyond SEO as well. You can hold lunch and learn sessions with any parts of the business for you to learn more about what it is they do and how it can help you with marketing, and to teach them as well why marketing is important for the business and what they need to do. And fundamentally, it means you can ensure they put the principles of SEO or marketing in everything that they do. It's also useful to sit in on the sales team. I found the sales team is one of the most important teams that you can work with in marketing to understand why people buy from you and the type of problems that customers are having for not buying from you. You get an understanding of what customers want if you do that, and also if there are any inquiries that your sales team get, you can potentially create content around that as well. Same thing goes for your customer call centers or any routes that you have to get queries. Laura made a very good point about gathering that information and turning it into pages in FAQs. Again, it's another fantastic way to get content, especially the type of content that is stopping people from buying from your business in the first place. You want to make sure they've got as many reasons to buy from you as they can. Communication channels within the business may also generate new content opportunities that you may not have thought of as well. So we have internal newsletters, we have an intranet as well, and we ask every single person in the business for stories to put on there. We have 19,000 employees, so that's a lot of people and a lot of potential stories. But we found by sifting through that information, we get a lot of great content that we can share internally that would have gone missed. Even simple things like personal stories of when people have run a marathon for charity. It helps to give a bit of a human aspect to your employees. And it generally creates a wider awareness throughout the business of how it's growing and where it's going. So you can tie that into things like the marketing plan. You can get stories that tie into the values or the vision of the business, and share any information that people need to know in the business that will help your marketing. You need to listen internally as well, so you can actually share that internal content externally on your website. So if somebody's run a marathon for charity and raised a lot of money, you can put that content on your website, and it's a nice bit of human interest story. In fact, a lot of large businesses have a corporate social responsibility to give back to the communities that they operate in. And this is one of the ways that you can show you're engaging with the communities and get new content out of it. Whenever you launch a new product, you should share that information internally as much as you can so that every single person in your business knows the type of products and services that you want to promote. Again, if you work in agency side, it's useful for you to get visibility of this information so you can prepare content marketing campaigns around the product launch and have it ready. Gives better promotion of new key products and services by doing this. That's a duplicate slide. With new clients, you want to get early awareness from sales and business development teams, ideally before the client comes in. If you've got a big project coming in, it's nice to have a press release ready to go the second that the client signs the paperwork. Obviously you get links, you get content, you get new stuff you can push out there, and also the potential to generate new sales by talking about your new clients. Another good opportunity is once you've got your marketing plan and your business plan and you know where the business is going, you can think about how you can generate content that works towards those goals. For example, if you knew in 2017 that you or your client wanted to expand into a new market, you can start creating content now that fits that attribute, rather than just creating content that is serving the status quo or is just a repeat of what everyone else is doing. Generally, then you'll spend less time on pointless content and more time on what's actually going to make the business money. And lastly, it's really important to live the values. Whenever we do internal communications in our business, we always include at least one of the values in order to make sure our employees are always aware of the attributes that make our business unique, that they should always try to follow. It gives you more chance of employees actually following those values and acting in a certain way when they do interact with your customers. We also use e-learning platforms to walk employees through the values. One of our values is safety. It's really important to us, and we have a mandatory course that we teach all of our employees every year. They walk through scenarios that are typical problems that we face in our industry, and it means that it's more than just us saying a value. It gets us a chance to teach them every year a reminder of why that's important to our business. It helps aid the retention of that. You don't have to have an expensive e-learning platform to do this. It can be as simple as just creating a slide deck that gives a little bit more detail on that value. You should recognize the success as well when people internally do live up to the values of your business in order to encourage that behavior of them to act in a certain way. We hold an annual awards ceremony called the EVE Awards, which is tied to our 6 values. And we ask anyone in the business to submit times when they or somebody else have lived one of our values in a good way. And then we give awards to the people who actually live the values best of all. We use that to create content as well that's shared internally and externally as well to show, as part of our marketing, the type of values we've got as a business and how we use them. So it's another opportunity for those of you in agencies to start thinking about what are the values that your clients want to have, and how can you put them to the forefront with the content you create for them. You can also, and this ties into the next point actually, you can promote those values to your customers. There's a lot of content out there that's exactly the same from company to company. If you put 2 companies side by side, it's really hard to tell what actually makes them unique. So at least by having values, you can say, these are the things that we stand for as a business, and here's some content that supports it. Here's examples of times people in our organization have lived those values to show that that's the type of company we are. That way, at least you set yourself apart from competitors and have content that is truly unique to you and what you want to do. But the big takeaway that I want you to take away from this talk is that internal communications is the idea that you can't be everywhere at once. Internal communications is very much the idea that at least every activity the employee does, you can be the voice in their ear telling them what to do and the right way to do it. So that every interaction they have with your customers is giving them the right impression and not undoing all your good work in marketing. So you want to make sure your employees live the values, embrace the vision, and follow the plan. Thank you.